welcome. This is the Dino Cast. What Dino? Yeah, that's what it's called now. It's called the Dino Cast by Hack the Dino. We bring you dinos. I'm a Triceratops. Look at my big horns. No, it's me, silly Ben Rosenthal. I'm here to tell you about all the gaming's past, present, and future. I am the man who sold the world. And as you may notice, for those of you watching here on twitch.tv/hackthedino, or maybe you're catching the replay on youtube.com/hackthedino, I am not sitting next to Floppy Starrick. No, Floppy's not here at the moment. Floppy is currently fighting in a kumite. You may have heard about it from Frank Dux. He won the kumite back in 1980, whatever. Very real man, very professional, and Floppy's over there now fighting for his life. So I got in the next best thing. Martial artist, wrestler, Twitch streamer, and all-round demigod, Zak Sabbath is here on the table tonight.
Oh, thanks for having me. Some might call me the Floppy Starrick from Wish. Did you say Frank Dukes is a real person?
He is.
No, he's a real person, but everything he says is a load of rubbish.
Oh, sorry, no.
He is CIA trained.
Tell you what, people who've never heard of Frank Dux, go and have a look at some of the videos made about it. Have you heard of Ashita Kim?
No.
Oh, you need to look up Ashita Kim, Zach. That's another great time. But anyway, Frank Dux, he wrote Bloodsport, Jean-Claude Van Damme's first film. You should look into it. But we talk about video games here. And to talk to us about video games is not Anto, who is also at the Kumite. So one of those won't be coming back. But we have Braden back!
Hey!
Now, literally, for those of you who aren't in the know, had Braden not been here tonight, we probably wouldn't be doing this stream. I literally begged Braden so much to the point where I'll come pick you up, Braden. I don't care. What do you want? You want a game? Yeah, have a... Anyway, Braden, what's going on?
Oh, I'm all right. I've got game codes. I've got someone absolutely bending over backwards for me. So
I answered the door when Braden was there, and I literally opened it, then just went on my knees and worshipped him.
If Braden ate a Mario mushroom, he turned into Zach. I love it.
This is Hack the Dino, the gaming cast, past, present, and future of video games, news, previews, and discussions where we talk about video games, video game-related hijinks, and then whatever the hell else comes out of our mouths. Apart from vomit. Vomit doesn't make for very good TV, unless you let one video Dan made that time, which is one of the highest viewed things on our channel, but let's not even bother. Anyway, Zach, for the people who may not be familiar with you, what do you do? What
do I do? Well, I've been an independent professional wrestler for about 17 years now. Mainly, my main homestead is Riot City Wrestling. I'm also it is a good place. I'm also a Twitch streamer, and I'm also a martial artist. I hear you like karate, Ben.
Oh, a little bit.
I like karate.
I do a little bit. I have done a kick or a punch every now and then. Not a kick. We were discussing this before.
What about a razzle dazzle? You ever
a razzle dazzle? Is that where you put your fingers in their eyes and your thumb in their nose like a bowling ball?
Oh, there is that. No, but it's more. In other words, struggle cuddles. Do you enjoy a good struggle cuddle?
But that's something I shouldn't talk about without Jazz not being here. Truth be told.
But yeah, that's.
What do you know about a straddle cuddle?
I am not old enough for that yet.
Braden's legs still work independently of. Anyway, now you're a former Riot City Wrestling champion.
I am. Former Riot City Wrestling champion, 2-time RCW tag champion with my good friend Mr. Giggles in there. Here's in the chat. It's been a long and illustrious career. Just ask me, I'll tell you.
Yeah, well, I know. Bloody hell. And true or not true, have you not punched me in the face before?
Yes. Fun fact, Ben almost knocked me out with a headbutt. Possibly one of the stiffest headbutts I've ever received in my 17 years of wrestling. Over 700 matches, and he brains me.
Look, to be fair, I have no idea what I'm doing. At the time, you were on your knees being held up by my compatriots.
Yep.
I had a mask on that had very, very limited visibility. And my whole idea was I was just going to grab you by the head in this ritualistic thing and headbutt you, but I was going to headbutt my thumbs. So it would connect, but it wouldn't hit you. in the middle of the ring, went boom. Didn't get my thumbs. Instead, smacked you right in the forehead.
That was the time. That was after being in the ring for 45 minutes, being bumped by 30 other people. It was a time.
And I
Should
don't
have hit
know.
him out. Shut up, Boomer.
I felt awful. I don't know if you picked up on it from the amount of times I apologized.
Yeah, it was a good time.
afterwards.
Mid-ring, trying to look menacing. I'm so sorry.
Had a mask on. No one could tell. No one knew it was me.
Wrestling.
Brayden, you ever headbutted someone in the face?
I can't say I have on purpose.
Well, getting here, Zach's here. Let's. No.
Why
okay.
not? Why not? Let's go 2 out
I
of
got
3.
the headphones on, and it's
fair enough.
I'm all tied up here.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Anyway, let's dive into the show. We're talking about wrestling games this show. Who would have thought? We're going to talk about some wrestling games, the best wrestling games there is. Maybe a little biased, but I wrote the list, so who cares? But where's my? Yeah, okay. What have we been playing, Zach?
Oh, what have I been playing?
What have you been playing? What are you doing?
So I mainly stream World of Warcraft. But
Wow.
Wow. But lately, I've been playing a game called Remnant of the Ashes 2 with Mr. Boom and a couple of other homies in the chat. Really cool game. It's pretty much just gun souls, but with seamless multiplayer. Great game. Fantastic. Another game I've just started getting into is Baldur's Gate 3.
Mm-hmm. Some sexy bear time.
That's right. I haven't got to the sexy bear time yet, but I'm waiting.
I should just rename it Sexy Bear Time.
They should. But one game that I wanted to kind of bring to everyone's attention is a game called Hammerwatch 2. It's an indie game. Been getting heckin' into the indie games lately, and the demo's out. The game releases in a couple of days. But it is a 16-bit multiplayer RPG. Really, really cool. Because I'm old, the nostalgia I get from like the sprite like graphics kind of really tickles me in funny places.
No, continue.
Excellent. It's a really, really cool game. The demo is free if you want to check it out. Not a sponsor, but they should be.
They absolutely. Modus, I'm looking at you.
Give me codes, please. But yeah, I'm very excited to buy the 4 copies of this and force it upon my friends so they play with me.
Yeah, I also had that similar problem, but then the judge said stop it.
But yeah,
that's illegal.
But what's really cool about this is that the game's going to come with
Had that problem too.
with mod support, so people can actually create their own campaigns within the game, so they can write their own stories that other people can play with.
That's cool.
Yeah, so like your
it's
own D&D
really,
campaign.
really cool.
That's cool.
So yeah, you can essentially use it as Dungeons and Dragons. Awesome game. The combat's fun. It's fast paced. It's challenging, but not too challenging. Teamwork's a must. Like a GBA version of Magic. Yeah, I guess, yeah. But yeah, it rewards exploration, which I love. Lots of questing, lots of fights, and there's like big epic dragon battles. Each class feels unique and different. It is really, really cool. So yeah, Hammerwatch 2, please check it out.
Can you travel through time?
No, even though, look, Chrono Trigger, fantastic game. It reminds me a lot of Chrono Trigger. But
Wow.
To be fair, I do prefer the action. I find
fine.
turn-based combat to be a little outdated, so this really tickles my fancy.
Well, it's fine because Chrono Trigger was the first one to like perfect turn-based.
It is
combat,
good.
so-
It is really good. Upon Ben's recommendation, I bought it on Android, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Did you finish it?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. Do you know, like when I originally, I've told this story numerous times, but it was my first RPG, and I didn't know you could upgrade your armor or your your spells or your weapons. So I did the whole game with base everything.
That's great.
The final battle against Lavos took me, I think, literally 4 hours.
Oh, wow.
So I had 2 characters to spam healing and just chrono attacking. And
Yeah, right.
it took me so long. And then when I actually found out, I think it was Game Boy Dad in the chat, who originally said, Ben, it's only a 30-hour game. And I went, what? No, it's not. And yeah, then I went, oh, I'm a silly person. Oh, well. Brayden.
Hello.
You've got some toys.
I do. First up, I would like to say a big thank you to our friends over at I don't know where you actually get them from, but Summerfall Studio have a new game that's out. And I got a code for the last minute coming here to help run the show. And it was on my wish list already. I was very excited for this game anyway. And that's Stray Gods.
Yeah.
The role-playing musical.
By Austin Wintory.
By Austin Wintory.
Lyrics.
The cast is ridiculous. It's everyone you know and love. Laura Bailey, Troy Baker, Ashley Johnson, Erika Ishii, Rahul Kohli. I could just go on forever.
Oh, is Rahul in this as well?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. There's so many people in this game. It's a choice-based. In the middle of songs, you'll change... you'll react to what's going on, and you'll change the tone and the genre of these songs. The music's diegetic. It's like this person's power to make things become songs. The art style looks great. I'm totally sold on it. Not only Austin Wintory was supported by Australia's own Tripod and Montaigne.
Do you know he gets... he does a lot of work with Tripod. They met during Assassin's Creed. What game did he do?
The British one.
Yeah. The Governor one.
Yes, the Governor one.
But yeah, they met there, and that's they came and did that show with him, which is where I spent the night. Not like that, but hung out with Austin. I wish
it wasn't the only Tripod that night.
And Tripod, they were very funny people.
But yeah, so I'm very keen on this. I'm going to be reviewing this for Hack the Dino. So either next time I'm on, or maybe watch out on the socials.
Now this is on Switch as well.
It's on PlayStation. It's on Steam. I believe it's on Switch as well. Yeah, if you have something, you can probably play it.
So I originally backed this when it was first announced in their initial Kickstarter. And at that point, it was only coming out on Steam. So I just went, all right, yeah, Steam, fine. And got the code for it the other day just ahead of the launch. And then went, I still don't have a Steam account. And it just so happened that I desperately needed Braden's help this show. It's like, hey, buddy.
Hey, do you want that game you want?
So how are you with bribes?
You already want that game.
But I'm gonna
very excitingly. I was just listening to Play Watch Listen, which Austin Wintory is on, and they were talking about Stray Gods. Austin was talking about the process of making the soundtrack for this game, which is pretty complicated when there's so many differing choices. He's releasing 4 different versions of the soundtrack. So
that's right. Yeah, he's Pokemoning it.
Yeah, there's because they're all different colors. Yes. There's 3 which are following. If you were to follow each of the emotional points of red of the aggressive ones, or blue the logic ones, or yellow the empathetic ones, and then
or
he's making
green the Venusaur ones.
Yes, yeah, you're the one where you get Bulbasaur.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then a 4th one where it's a bunch of the choices that he really liked that didn't make the cut on the other ones. So that's a real mixed bag one. He's doing way too much work for this. It's absolutely insane. And I'm very much looking forward to it. But
yeah.
I do have something that I can share with you all today in person. Michaela and I, my partner, we sold our Switch because we were like, hey, you know what? Switch 2 is probably around the corner. We've been having these rumors for 18 years is what it feels like.
Sorry, Braden, the SEO is just going to need you to say Switch 2 a couple more times.
Switch 2.
Switch 2.
Switch 2?
Switch 2?
Did you know the Switch 2 is coming? The rumors on the Switch 2. Information on the Switch 2.
I can't believe the Switch 2 is here.
Switch 2 specs. I think that'll do it.
Switch 2 slept with my wife.
Reggie Fils-Aimé punched me in the face.
Super Switch.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's not a Switch.
Yeah.
That's it. My body is ready for the Switch 2. Thanks, Reggie.
My body is in the Switch. Wait, no.
Whoa. But no, so we sold our Switch because, their resale value is probably going down at this point.
Now you say that.
Yeah, I know.
But Nintendo value never goes down in anything.
know.
Even Wii U's are $400 nowadays.
That's silly. So we ended up selling it to a couple on Marketplace who, when they came to buy it, were basically exactly Michaela and I. It was honestly really weird.
Alternate reality.
It was just like, oh, you two are just us. This is weird. So they were very happy they took that, and then we took that money and we went and bought the Asus ROG Ally, which is a handheld gaming PC. It's basically a Super Switch. It is basically... The Steam Deck isn't actually available through anyone. I'll bring up a video so I can actually show people what it's like. The Steam Deck from Steam isn't actually available in Australia from any actual retailers. You can get it from people who are importing it and stuff, but we didn't really want to do that because, like warranty is a thing, and I wasn't sure how that would go.
Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, it should be fine.
When does electronics ever go wrong?
Yeah, like never.
When is there ever, especially in the confines of these four walls, has technology ever screwed us over so hard?
Yeah.
Watch 3 fires be put out since I've been here. That's okay.
But so we wanted to get something because like the only times we could really play a bunch of the video games that I already own because of like Steam library and Epic Game Store free games every single fortnight and
Fortnite.
Fortnite.
I hear you like Fortnite.
No, I haven't played it
I
much.
think we'll get into that. But I'm trying to find a video from someone who I actually watched just to give them the view on this account. Which is a silly thing to spend my time doing. But there we go. There's one.
That's right. You should see some of the stuff Anto watches on that account. Really likes Tifa.
I was going to say Final Fantasy fiction. But come on, just show one. God damn it. Yeah, there we go. Ratchet and Clank on the ROG Ally. This is also one of the things. Obviously, the Switch is handheld, but on the ROG Ally, it's just a PC. So any releases that release to Steam, anything on Epic Game Store, anything on Xbox Game Pass.
And Epic Game Store are giving away a game a week.
It's
giving away good games.
Just from I barely even touch Epic Game Launcher at all, except for once a fortnight to download the new free game. Or not download them, but like get them in my library. I have so many games on my PC.
It's too much.
And there's a bunch there that Michaela and I wanted to play together, but we couldn't play them at her place because all we had there was the Switch.
How do you play 2-player on this?
We just play sitting next to each other. She doesn't want to control the game at all.
Right.
Okay,
No, she just wants to actually just like enjoy the story and like go through it and everything. Which is like, so we just played through Wolf Among Us finally. And
Right.
that's a great game. It's very good. Making decisions together. It's very fun.
Brayden, did you see Arceus's question there?
Was it upgradable and modifiable? It is in a way. You can take it apart and you can upgrade the SSD in there. Bump up the 500 and something gigs of storage to like 1 terabyte, 2 terabytes, 8 terabytes if you're crazy. And have a lot of money. But this thing's expensive enough. You can just to inform all our Australian viewers, it's available at JB Hi-Fi. If you want to see the price tag, you can go look at it on their website. Don't judge me. But it's a 1080p, 60 frames per second gaming handheld, and it's really, really good. It is perfectly weighted, I feel like.
Well, you let us hold it before.
Yes,
It
and
is really cool.
I was surprised at how light it actually is.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I've heard on reviews is that this is lighter than the Steam Deck is. And I can't imagine it being any heavier because it would just become really uncomfortable.
Braden Arceus in the chat has asked if it's can it run Crisis?
It can run Crisis 1, the original, from back in the day. Not the new version.
No, none of that.
Nah, but the original Crisis? Yeah. Not on incredible settings, but yeah.
Pull it back a bit.
Let's pull it back. It's playable.
1080p, right?
Yeah, it's 1080p.
Yeah.
But one of the other things you can do here, and Nintendo, this is straight at you guys. Why won't you let me just give you money to play the Pokemon games I want to play on a handheld? Like, I want to give you money to play these Pokemon games. So I've been emulating games on here because it's a PC. All the games.
You've been playing games that you physically
I've
own
been playing
and have backed up
emulating
legally.
the games that I own,
Yes.
which I have actually been doing with my entire PlayStation 2 library. And it is so fun to go back to all these games that I played as a kid and just like dive straight back into them so easily. It's so fun.
Do you remember a couple of years back when Dan was still on the show? He downloaded that program that was like a jukebox for games?
Yes.
Would that be able to run that?
It can. It very much... Yeah, I know. You're just like, oh my God. Just like...
No.
Yeah.
I cannot get one of these.
Jukebox for games?
Yeah, do you remember what it was called?
So there's the one that I use, which is RetroArch, which basically, when you run it a certain way, looks like a PS3, and is just an easy way to sort through your library. But yeah, there's this other one that you can do, and a lot of people set them up on like Raspberry Pis, because that's all you really need to run it. And you can just play every game before things got to 3D, like, perfectly. on like a PC like this big. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
But there's a bunch of different things that you can use to like organize your library for that, and there's levels of legality to it. Just emulate the games you own. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, that's right. Just back up legally.
Yeah.
The games that you.
But that's where it's at. But this handheld's great. I cannot wait to play so much more of it. It is a PC, so you will spend the first 24 hours with it just updating and installing everything.
Well, it's lucky that we have Australian internet, so that'll fly by.
Oh, yeah, totally. And by that, I mean, in 24 hours Australian time, it probably takes 8 hours to do in the US.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a PC. Like, it's a lot of updating things. But it's very cool. I'm going to keep playing with it and trying out a bunch of different stuff with it. But yeah, it's just great to actually have all the games that I own on this handheld, which looks great and feels great.
What do you reckon, Zach? You going to save up and get one of these bad boys?
Gut instinct says no.
That's a good financial decision.
If I got a spare...
Don't say
amount of money?
Don't say
If I got a spare amount of money, it'd probably go to upgrading my PC or my stream setup or giving it to my wife like a good husband. So she doesn't
Actually,
beat me.
no. I know Zach's wife. I know her very well. She's scary, man. I'm legit afraid of Mickey. She's tough as hell. Scares the crap out of me.
She did say hello in the chat.
All right. Hi, Mickey. Please
Ben's
don't
like,
kill
oh,
me.
shit, she's here.
Please don't beat me.
So, surprise, surprise, I haven't been playing much. I've been playing the game that I can't speak about until sort of November-ish, but there'll be more on that later. Mickey in the chat just said, I'm not scary. Stop telling. Sorry, Mickey. I'm very, very sorry.
Stop telling people I'm scary or I'll beat you.
After, which we'll talk about in a minute, the Pokemon Direct that aired during the week, I decided that I was going to play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet again.
Great
and
game.
just start running around and search for shinies. And lo and behold, Brayden, I came across a shiny Lechonk.
Oh,
He's a pink little piggy.
Lechonk. Oh my god, it actually made him pink.
Yeah.
Oh.
Little pinkish Lechonk.
And how many frames was it running at?
Well, when I came across the Lechonk, it was in handheld mode because I'd just gotten my free Mew. So it looked quite good. Then later,
Who did you have to get a free Mew?
Wait, what?
oh well, I guess you're in the right place to find out because we're going to be talking about it very shortly.
It's almost like I
Casually,
need the
I'll get a free
gaming news
Mew.
given to me directly.
But yeah, then I put it in docked mode just to see how it would play, see if they, it's been 10 months. Have you fixed any of this stuttering, any of the lagging, They have, but not enough. There's one section that just I think I'm playing... In the original Super Mario Brothers, in World 2-2, there's a certain point where there's so many sprites on the screen, it starts to flicker and jolt a little bit just because it's got too much on the screen. The game cartridge can't handle it. Yeah, it does that.
Yeah, right.
There's slowdown, there's jittering, and it's like... So hopefully with the DLC that's coming out soon, they will find a way to fix that. And considering the DLC got delayed... fingers crossed that game will work. I got a feeling when Gen 10 comes out, the next mainstream Pokemon game, that it is going to be a lot better. But yeah, you're playing Pokemon Scarlet and Violet at the moment, aren't you, Zach?
I am. I'm playing Violet. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It's the first Pokemon game I've bought in ages. I can't remember the last one I bought physically. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it. I love the open world aspect. I was kind of... had a bit of a gripe with the fact that you just go to a certain area and you'd have something that's 5 times your level that just one taps everything you got. Having said that, it was also really exciting to find something that was a bit stronger that you like the challenge of trying to catch it. Mm-hmm. I don't understand with all these games where the game levels up with you, why they didn't just apply that. So there was a bit more.
Nah, it's no fun.
See, I disagree. I like if things leveled up with you, or even if they're just that little step ahead of you.
Have you played Breath of the Wild?
I couldn't get into it.
You couldn't get into it? So part of the appeal with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which I still haven't gone back to because it's still giving me major anxiety. It's too big. That game is too big.
No such thing.
No, this is. So Breath of the Wild, what I loved about it is the first time you come across a Guardian and you hear that piano, that you go, what is that? And this Guardian comes running at you with its octopus legs and starts firing lasers and you have no chance at all in beating them. And then halfway through the game, you get powered up sufficiently. You've done enough of the game that you go, yeah, right, I can take you on. And you do, and you dissect them, and you finally get over it. Then you come up against Lionels. And they mess you up. But I like that idea of you can go anywhere, you can do anything. But if you go to this stage, you're going to get your butt kicked. I really appreciate that. This, not so much. Pokemon Scarlet Violet, yeah, you can go back and listen to our review from about 10 months ago. I liked it, but
it's still relevant the exact same because they haven't updated it enough.
Nah, correct. They have DLC. But that's probably a good way to jump head on into the recap of the Pokemon Direct that came out on Wednesday. But before we do, be sure to head over to hackthedino.com where you can see everything we release. You can head on over to youtube.com/hackthedino or click the little button there and subscribe to our channel where I put up not only VODs of this stream that you're watching right now in podcast form and video podcast form, but also retro hunting. That's right, I take the camera out, do little short 1-minute ventures and show all the stuff that I pick up to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars for the Retro Challenge, which we'll go into a little bit later on.
That's not far off.
What's that?
The hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Wow.
Look, it's addictive. I went out with Ben one weekend and I managed to have a really good score. It was less, and it just enough to hook you in, and I can't wait to go again.
Yeah. I constantly have people going, oh, when can I come out with you?
Yeah, it's a problem, man.
Anytime you ask and like the group can go, but like I miss out, I'm just like, oh man, I really want to go.
You know what's been really cool though, Braden? I've been going out the past couple of weekends with Ghost Games, Julian from Ghost Games.
Yeah, I've been seeing that.
Like sometimes both Saturday and Sunday we're heading out.
Oh my god.
It's getting insane the type of places we go to because
fun.
Julian knows places and I know places and we just go around and we
Big
both
skips out the back of buildings.
Yeah. Not far off. Anyway, that's a hell of a lot of fun. Should be a Patreon tier. Come retro hunting with me. But yeah, hackthedino.com. Join the Discord as well. Everyone's in there having a chat, having a good time. We all play poker in there. Speaking of poker, let's talk about Pokemon. Thank you. No, that was great, Braden. Don't stop shaking your heads. For the podcast listeners, both Braden and Zach are applauding my brilliant segue there.
You know what's better about it? Zach was already on screen. I chose to go on screen.
That hurt my spine. I felt that.
So just to back you up in the chat, we got Dylan the Villain face palming and Michael Towns doing a cancel Ben highlighted message. He spent money to cancel me. Pokemon Direct recap. Did either of you see it?
Nope.
Okay, so if you read the internet, a lot of people didn't like it. They didn't live up to their expectations. They thought it was useless. They thought it was pointless. So I'm just going to have a little bit of a rant, and I don't do this very often, do I, Brad? But I So
I listened to the show, Ben.
That's your fault. Okay, so this Pokemon Direct, what I want to know is the people who didn't enjoy it, what more do you want from them? They announced a new anime. They announced gave us a date for DLC. They gave us free Pokemon. They gave us updates on every single freaking Pokemon game they have there. What more do you possibly want? They added games to the Nintendo Switch Online that people have been asking for. All right, it's not red or blue, but they're saving that for more money. What else do you want from them besides? And it seems like everyone wanted Black and White announced, like a new mainstream Pokemon game or a remake coming out this year. They want Black and White remakes. Yeah, cool. Scarlet and Violet came out 10 months ago. 10 months. Do you know how long it takes to A, develop a game, and B, play that game? There's DLC that hasn't even come out yet. And you're asking for another game. Holy crap, just rein in the expectations, guys. Like, really, give them a chance. Holy smokes. Having said that, this didn't need to be a direct.
God damn it, Ben.
Could have just been a Facebook post.
It could have been a couple of trailers. So first up, they had Detective Pikachu Returns. Will allow you to investigate various crime scenes this time. People are complaining about the graphics and models used in this game. And
It's a Pokemon game.
thank you! Like, what they're doing here is trying to capture the look and the feel of the DS games. Now, There's something you may not be aware. The DS game's not the most powerful machine. So they've tried to reinitiate that whole stylistic approach in the Switch game. And also, it's a Pokemon Switch game. You're not going to get anything brilliant.
Also, it's a Pokemon game. It's one of the biggest grossing properties. It's the
biggest.
Above Star Wars?
Yep.
Like, it's the biggest money-making property ever. And they released Scarlet and Violet 10 months ago.
Yep.
And we all saw what that looked like.
Yep.
So you think that Detective Pikachu's gonna get a fucking HD remaster incredibleness? What?
No, this is a sequel, Braden. This isn't a remake.
It looks like this. No, I'm joking.
Then they announced October 6th release. I don't know if we got the announcement previously when they announced this game, but October 6th is coming out. So that's pretty cool.
Is it Ryan Reynolds?
No.
Oh.
No. It's Danny DeVito. Pokemon Trading Game and Pokemon Stadium 2 are now available for Nintendo Online. Zach, did you play the trading card game at all?
No, I actually play the trading card game now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like the
IRL.
actual physical TS?
Yeah.
That's right. We picked up a whole bunch of cards.
Yeah. So I've just recently, because I played Magic the Gathering for like 15 years. My favorite deck got stolen out of my car, gave the whole hobby away. Blah. But I did play this back when I was in primary school when it first came out. And I was too soft skull smooth brain to understand how it worked. So I kind of didn't get much further than that.
Some of us can't help it. All right, Zach. Just...
But I did play it, but I kind of more cut my teeth on Pokemon Yellow when that came out. One of the greatest gaming experiences of my entire life. Fantastic. But yeah, I actually play it IRL now at a place called Dragon's Lair in Salisbury. It's actually, a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. I've been near there. I've seen that place.
Yeah, fun fact,
cool.
I've literally I bought cards, started collecting, went down there, tried to make a deck. The owner took pity upon me. Lovely fella. He sat down and taught me how to play. He's literally he's the fourth ranked player in the country.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. He just came fourth in Melbourne. He's like, let me teach you how to play. Like, just came down from getting lunch, from dinner, and he just sat down, taught me how to play like an absolute legend. It was really, really cool.
Truth be
really
told,
good place.
I'm not good at card games. I fail at Uno.
Everyone fails at Uno.
He tries to snap and it just doesn't.
Go fish!
Well, my daughter the other night, she was showing me magic tricks with her cards.
That's
cool. And I said, oh, sweet, can I show you a magic trick? She goes, yeah, all right. And I got it and just flicked it all in her face. And I said, it's called 42 pickup. And I went to leave, and because she used to train with me, she grabbed me and put me in a reverse headlock, like almost like a dragon sleeper, and pulled me down and said, now pick up the cards. And like, it went back and forth, father-daughter, sort of roughhousing type thing. In the end, I went, all right, I'll pick it up. So I picked them all up and said, all right, there you go. And she goes, good. Boom, just threw them in my face and goes, worth it. That's my daughter. Anyway, this is a game I've never actually played the Pokemon TCG. I likewise would like to learn. What are we watching, Braden?
This is a Pokemon card pack opening that I watched on a YouTube channel in the last 10 years.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I would like to learn about it, but it just scares me.
Yeah, look.
Much like Zach's wife scares me.
TCGs can be very intimidating because especially they are money sponges, but Pokemon, I've actually worked out, is one of the cheaper ones to get into. Did
you get any good cards out of that whole bunch you got for $10?
No.
It was all trash?
There was one that was worth about $12, which is a Raichu, and it's in pretty good condition, but overall, no, not really. They're pretty much just going to be there.
So yeah, that and Pokemon Stadium 2 is now available on Nintendo Online. Mew and Mewtwo are coming to Scarlet and Violet, and Mew is free. I think the code is Get Your Mew. You just go to Mystery Gift, type in Get Your Mew, and you get one for free with a random...
I know what I'm doing when I get home.
Yeah, it's great. And then if you battle against Mewtwo when he enters raids on the 1st of September, and you use your Mew, you get something special happening, which is, I don't know, whatever, extra Stardust. Paldean Winds was announced, which is a brand new anime. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
And
I do like anime.
We finally got the date for the Scarlet and Violet DLC, the Teal Mask Part 1. September 13 comes out. And then, of course, you've got the Treasure of Area Zero coming out later in the year, probably around November, December. But these are two big DLCs, and hopefully we will get a lot more bug fixes sort of snuck in there as well. But again, it had some good information. I think people's expectations were high, but it probably didn't need to be a whole thing.
It seems like the Pokemon community and the World of Warcraft community are very similar. So it doesn't matter what they do, they're going to hate on it. But they're going to play it anyway.
Just very toxic.
Yep.
Just like every fandom there is.
Yep.
So Arceus in the live chat has asked what my opinion of the trailer of the Teal Mask is. I'll play it. Looks like... The thing that made me laugh is one of the very first screens in the trailer. It's like a festival, and you're running down a main street where there's a night festival going on. They got like tents up and everything. We're watching it here. And he goes, you'll be able to go through the bustling blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, there's 5 people there. That's not bustling.
That's not bustling.
We know what the Switch is capable of. Like, yeah, there you go.
Oh, wow.
The bustling street. Wow, that's one hell of a festival.
3, 4, 5, 6, including you.
Well, there you go. I wasn't far off. So...
It's like...
It's bustling, Brayden.
It's like 10 by 10 meters.
And it's bustling.
That's not a festival.
I guess 10 by 10 meters, you put 5 people in there, it's going to feel bustling.
Oh, true.
It is Bustlemon. Speaking of busting...
What was this horrifying, like...
They're the new legendaries.
Oh, no, this.
Oh, that's Quagsire.
No, that looks like Death Stranding. What's going on?
Well, they took a new direction after Kojima took over. Kojima took over Pokemon. You heard it here first. Scoop! Switch 2 update. It's time for our SEO quoting of the show. Yes, we saw the reports of Switch 2. Yes, it might happen next year. That's it. That's all you're getting. I just want to say, though, I called it. I did call in my predictions that there would be an announcement and probably next year would be a release.
You reckon it's going to be much stronger than the Switch 1?
No. But, fingers crossed. Like,
I like how even this, like, fake trailer, like this render that they did, they were like 720p, 1080p. It's just, we had that over a decade ago.
Yeah. We'll skip the next news story because it's just Red Dead Redemption got announced. It's going to be on Switch.
That was
really?
A big disappointment.
Wow. Okay. Why? All right, we won't skip it. Why are we disappointed in this
Capped
remake?
at 30 frames a second, full price, no extra content.
It is the biggest crock of shit that Rockstar have done since the definitive trilogy of GTA.
Absolute trash.
But even the GTA trilogy, at least they tried to do something different and new with it. This is literally just porting over a PS3, Xbox 360 game at the exact same settings the entire time over to the PS4 and the Switch. Yeah. They actively are releasing a game onto the last gen console and charging almost full price for it.
And you know what? People will buy it.
And that makes me sad.
Yeah. This is so disappointing. I loved this game.
Yeah.
You get Undead Nightmare as well.
That does not... You can get this game physically on PS3 or Xbox on anyone on Gumtree or Facebook Marketplace for like 10, 20 bucks.
But who has those systems now? So if you wanted to play this game, especially PS3, nothing comes off the PS3. Yeah. It lives in an island. If you don't have a PS3 anymore, that's it. You can't play it.
Notice how it doesn't have Xbox there? It's because on Xbox, it was on 360, so you can just play it. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't care. It's fine.
Undead Nightmare was also hot garbage.
Why?
It made, like,
it
this
was bad.
A massive emotional roller coaster that I went on for Red Dead Redemption. Such a fantastic game. Then, oh, look, now we're zombies. Why? What was this hyper-realistic shooter?
Because James Martin died at the end.
Yes, we need more James Martin. Make him a zombie.
Yeah.
Stupid.
No.
Just completely killed it.
It's great writing. It's fantastic writing.
Old man runs an old game.
Killed it and brought it back to life as a zombie.
Yeah.
So, just made me so mad.
Honestly, like, as a business decision, it's the weirdest thing I've seen Rockstar do in a while.
Yeah, awful. Absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Rockstar are pretty cool. Anyway, August 17th. You can all
Ignore
spend your money and review it. And I hope it's a dumpster fire like GTA Trilogy was, because that had some fun glitches. I love glitches. All right, let's talk some wrestling games.
I do like wrestling games.
You like wrestling? You like wrestling for real?
I do. I do like wrestling for real.
What's more realistic, wrestling for real or wrestling games?
Depends on the game.
Yeah?
I mean,
In your opinion, what's the closest wrestling game to actually wrestling?
probably the newer ones. But you know, it's still just two guys fighting over a belt when they don't wear when they're not wearing pants.
Yes, but have you considered that? So we've got, I think, 7 or so of some of the most well-known wrestling games. Now, these aren't in any particular order. That's a lie. They're in my order. These are my my list of my games that I think deserve to be in a list. So we're going to talk about them a little bit. And Braden, I know you're just getting back into wrestling and back into some wrestling games, so you might want to play some of these if you haven't already.
There are some on here that I am all over.
Oh,
and
really?
there's someone here I've never heard of. So I'm very interested to know about all this.
Well, we're going to kick it off with a game that I haven't actually played.
Oh, I have.
Oh, good. Well, I'll read out the description, and then Zach and Braden can go and talk about it, and I can sit there like a thumb. Def Jam Fight for New York, an action wrestling game featuring famous rappers like Snoop Dogg, Lil' Kim, Ludacris, and Flavor Flav. It also included Henry Rollins. Spot the odd one out there. Sleek controls, fun gameplay, and celebrity cameos are fantastic, and they should absolutely return at some point down the road to this game and franchise. Zach, what can you tell us about this game?
I love this game. I didn't know who any of these people were when I played it.
Who are these cool, fun, made-up characters?
Yeah, well, I knew who Snoop Dogg was, but I think I played Def Jam Vendetta, not Fight for New York.
Right.
But they're pretty much the same game. What I really loved is the fact that your character evolved the further you got through the storyline.
Like a Pokemon.
Yeah, something like that. But they just became more and more gangster. And the best part was when you play as the white dude.
So does Flavor Flav become like a grandfather clock?
He becomes that really weird Yu-Gi-Oh card. It's like the time warp clock guy.
I don't think... I only use the creator characters because I think Def Jam Vendetta, you could only play as these made-up characters, and they kind of all... The absolutely outrageous finishes was what kind of drew me in. Like, they had these wrestling moves, but they were just so over the top to the point where they were... You leave Time Wizard alone.
I was going to say, what's a Time Wizard and how do I become one? Because that sounds amazing.
Y'all got to get on Yu-Gi-Oh, mate.
Oh, that's great.
Braden,
The only reason I know about Time Wizard was because it turns Baby Dragon into the old dragon. It's great fun.
Braden, can you please bring up a image of Time Wizard?
Okay, you're on it.
Yes, you were saying?
Yeah, it's very arcadey, super over the top, and the finishing moves were all super devastating, and each character kind of had their own unique one. There wasn't any real customization with it. It's just the further you got in the game, the more money you made, the more rep you got, the more your looks changed. But yeah, definitely has some really good replayability, especially for a game of its time. A lot of fun. Thoroughly recommend if you haven't played it already.
Okay, so Ben, did you say you want to be Time Wizard?
I want to be Time Wizard.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Here he comes.
Yes! Yes! Look at him! He's beautiful! Look at that boy! Yeah! And he's got a Charizard? That's
Baby
amazing.
Dragon.
That's a Charizard.
It's Baby Dragon.
And that's
Baby
Goku.
And then he turns into 1,000-year dragon or whatever it is.
Oh,
there he
that?
is.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
he's a grizzled veteran.
Great
That's
fun.
me now.
No, but seriously, Def Jam Fight for New York is freaking hilarious and great. And I am so well, actually, no, I'm not. I'm not shocked that this has fallen into licensing hell. You can't get this game anywhere, like, unless you have the physical disc, because licensing agreements.
It's almost like we shouldn't rely on physical media because companies might go, hey, you know what? We're not releasing our physical things over there anymore.
Yep.
I actually had this argument with Jazz last night. That was a discussion. But
Disney thing?
Yeah, the Disney thing. And I was saying, well, that's my whole argument with buying physical media and why I, if I like a movie, I get the DVD or the Blu-ray of it because I want to be able to watch it again. Mm-hmm. Or for nostalgia's sake, I get the VHS. And I said, because people don't really realize you're not purchasing a digital copy, you're leasing it. And you are allowed to have it for as long as they feel like having it on their servers and in their cloud for you to access to. She goes, no, because it downloads to the TV. And I said, no, it doesn't. It's on their servers, Jazz, and they can just cut that off whenever they like. So buy physical media, people.
But on that, my God, I want a modern version of this with
Right?
How have they not done a modern version of this nowadays? I want to see, now I got to think of modern rappers. Jesus. And I live in the 90s
he was a good
when
one.
it comes to hip hop.
Jesus was the best modern rapper.
Jesus, yep. No, I want to see...
Came out with a cross around his neck. Golden cross.
Look, I just want to see Macklemore get drop kicked, okay? That's it. But
I'm have this called AEW Fight Forever.
Speaking of AEW Fight Forever, that's the second game on our list. AEW Fight Forever. I love this game. Have you played it?
No, I haven't yet.
It
looks like a lot of fun.
I actually was given a code for this for a review copy. Fantastic. So it was made to mimic a game that will appear later on this list. It draws heavily from the old AKI engine of early 2000s wrestling games. While the mini games are a cute distraction from the RPG, I can read. While the mini games are a cute distraction and the RPG elements are kind of confusing, the in-ring action is smooth, enjoyable, and fun. And that's exactly what this is. This game is amazing. Mr. Giggles in the live chat said Ben only plays as MJF. Partially true. I also play as Bryan Danielson. Thank you.
MJF is fantastic.
MJF is the future.
100%.
I don't care of whatever MJF wants to do, he's the future of that.
Yep,
he is
agreed.
that good at everything.
I absolutely love him.
Braden, have you been watching AEW at all?
I haven't caught up on what's happening in AEW yet so that I can start following it. I've only just done that with WWE, but AEW is next on the list.
No. AEW. Just go to AEW if you like actual wrestling. AEW. Because MJF is brilliant. Yes. How do you think the Adam Cole thing's going to end?
I don't want it to.
Neither do I.
I've never been so invested in a story before. It was the last thing that hooked me in like this. It was the Otis story with I think was it Maria?
Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose. That's it. The Mandy Rose and Otis story. Oh, hooked me straight away, line and sinker.
Here's my prediction. Adam Cole is going to cheat his way into winning at All In.
I think it's going to be a double turn.
MJF's already face.
Yeah.
Adam Cole will cheat and go, this is what all was about, Max. I was never your friend. And then Max is going to feel dejected and go off and film the movie he's been signed up for. Adam Cole's going to be mega heel. And then you're going to have MJF return. At the same time, CM Punk's got his real world champion title thing gimmick going. And we are going to end up with, once MJF gets the title back from Adam Cole, Punk versus MJF for the undisputed world champion.
See, that's cool, but I'm sorry, CM Punk can't work. He can't work. I will die on this hill. David Arquette will always be world champ to me. Right. David Arquette.
But looking at the footage of this AEW game, it looks like the era of wrestling games that I grew up with.
Yep.
Which I'm very excited about.
They mimicked it on purpose.
Good.
And Braden, it plays exactly like them, but smoother, less clunky, and it is just so much fun.
Oh, stop it.
It looks like it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
As someone who's not into AEW yet, would it be a good place to just sort of immerse myself and get jumped into it?
Yep. Just jump on in.
Just start learning some people.
Did you like Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
He's over there now as Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Mark. So... I shouldn't say that's a dirty word.
No dying on any hills, Zach. Too many people need you.
Need me. Absolutely. Just jump in. So you got Jericho there. The JAS is just broken up.
I see some people I recognize here.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy's in there, stinking up the place like he does. MJF is just brilliant. brilliant. Adam Cole's in there. Adam Cole's amazing. They got Britt Baker in there. Ruby Riott, Soraya, who used to be Paige over in WWE, is wrestling again. Fantastic.
The young talent is definitely what you should be focusing on.
And because they work with other promotions as well, they've had Impact Wrestling come in there. It's got Kenny Omega. I mean, come on.
It's pretty crazy.
Like, more importantly, they work with New Japan, which is one of the greatest, if not the best promotion in the world. I absolutely love New Japan. You should definitely watch yourself some Japanese wrestling if you want something different.
Yep.
My God, just look up any highlight reel.
Yep.
Wow.
Vikingo.
Oh.
Dude.
Oh.
Yes.
So, Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega from Forbidden Door. Yes.
100%.
Or even, what was the one before that? I actually liked their match previous to Forbidden Door.
That was Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes, Wrestle Kingdom. Braden, go and watch Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega from Wrestle Kingdom.
Those are my two favorite matches of all time.
Watch the highlight reel leading up to it. That's the one where Kenny Omega comes out as Sephiroth in his entrance.
That one, okay. I've seen that entrance.
Yeah.
Bruh.
I think I made you watch it, didn't I?
I think so.
I made Anto watch it. Anto just goes, I don't even watch wrestling, but Kenny Omega rules.
That's so good.
Let's not forget, Kenny Omega and the Bucks came out as Ken and Ryu, and then Kenny Omega came out as Akuma.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Bunch of nerds.
It's amazing. Well, his name's Kenny Omega, named after Omega Red.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Anyway, next game. We nerd out over wrestling. WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game. This was developed by Midway. The wrestlers were digitized into the game, much like the Mortal Kombat series, because they came out at about the same time.
I've never even seen this.
This looks fun.
Yeah, it was. So it was like real life digitized wrestlers, but cartoony as hell. So the Tombstone pole drivers send players into the air, and Daunt the Clown actually electrocutes people.
Oh my God.
Look at that choke slam. Look at Scott Hall. Look at that. That's so good.
It's so goofy and fun. It's such a good game. So this was on the Super Nintendo, the Mega Drive, and in arcades.
I need to see the Tombstone. Please hit it with the
looks
Tombstone.
like that WWE 2K game that they released the other year.
Yeah.
It only bugging out.
Yeah.
Jumping.
No, it's such a fun game. And just real simple to play.
Choke slam Yokozuna
That's so fun.
into the stratosphere.
Fire Pro Wrestling. Have you messed around with Fire Pro Wrestling at all?
No, that's
No?
I haven't even. No, I've not seen anything about Fire Pro Wrestling. I've heard the name, but never played it.
Braden, have you ever heard of Fire Pro Wrestling?
I have not. What on earth is this?
Okay, so for those who are easily overwhelmed by complex mechanics and endlessly deep customization features, this may be a bit much. It puts the focus on grappling, making it the central mechanic of the game, and one that the player has to learn properly because of the tricky timings and strategy involved. It's based on New Japan Pro Wrestling, so a lot of people will not be familiar with the wrestlers that you have there, but customization means you can make pretty much anyone. So it's basically a wrestling nerds wrestling game. Whereas games you might be familiar with, such as AEW or other games that use that AKI engine, where you just like stand by the head and press two buttons and they do a hold.
Yeah.
This is a lot more complex. It's for the people who really get into it. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, it might be the sequel, but you can actually make your own campaign.
Yeah, right.
Make your own storyline. You can do a general manager mode or something where you book the wrestlers as well, like a fantasy critic. Not fantasy critic, fantasy whatever.
Yeah, right. That's
Fantasy
cool.
League. There you go. So you got Scorpion Deathlock there. Great game. Okay. Top three games. And this will make Mr. Giggles in the live chat happy. Number 3, WWE SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain.
Oh, yes.
Braden.
This was my
game.
childhood.
Yes.
Oh my God, I would play this game so much.
Right?
This is one of the only times Braden said to me, if you're ever out hunting and you come across Here Comes the Pain, could you please?
Yep. Would you kindly?
Yeah, would you kindly?
It is so good. It is so good.
Oh my God.
I've lost count as a child how many hours I spent in this game. Just the creative characters always look goofy compared to the actual superstars, but just the storylines and it's everything, the soundtrack, man.
The soundtrack. Oh my God.
Yeah, a lot of the bands I listen to now have evolved from bands I heard in Here Comes the Pain.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one who... I had King Kaiju, friend of the show. also someone who I've known since I was about 13 years old, used to rip on me so much because my musical taste pretty much came from movies and video games and listening to those soundtracks. That's how I expanded, whereas he was very much into metal and rap and hip-hop and whatnot. Used to lay it on me thick. And then, well, it's the realest looking car I've ever seen.
I'm getting so much nostalgia just pumped straight to my veins from watching this.
Yes.
It wasn't until probably a year or so ago he legitimately apologized to me for giving me so much crap throughout the years. He goes, yeah, I didn't realize it was actually a thing that people listen to soundtracks.
I hear the Kurt Angle. Oh, the random backstage brawls.
Yeah, it was really
Anytime
good.
you bumped into Brock Lesnar, you know who's going to beat the piss out of you.
Just like real life.
Yeah, just like real life. That's right. So
Where does Brock Lesnar rank for you in the wrestling hierarchy?
Um,
For me, one of the best of all time.
Look, he's definitely good. He's definitely worked a lot smarter. Back when he was in his early 20s, watch his Japan stuff, it's very different. But like how well he used to sell for people back then. But now he picks his battles.
Yep.
Like he will happily put people over.
Well, look what he did with Cody.
Yeah, when it's their time, he does a job, but he does it well.
Like, how hard did he put Cody over at the weekend, which was unplanned? Like, Cody went, yeah, that wasn't planned. I was silently soiling myself because it's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
I still remember, I can't remember what match it was, but it was a three-way with Brock Lesnar and someone else, two other people. And Brock was on the outside, on the announcer's table. He didn't go through it. He was just on there.
Yeah.
And there was a pin in the middle of the ring. One, Brock Lesnar's still outside on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And the camera was at mat level, so you could see that and Brock out there. Two, hands coming down from the third. Within that half a second from the ref going up for the three and coming down, just before it hit the mat, you see Brock Lesnar get up, get into the ring, and break up the pin like that. And you think, you are brilliant.
Yeah, the dude's nuts.
He knows the business. He knows it well. He's fantastic. Like in the end, I didn't really enjoy the matches when it was the whole Suplex City thing.
Suplex City.
I loved it. I loved him squashing everyone.
It's fun to watch Suplex City in a highlight
It's just not what I
reel.
enjoy to watch, but I appreciated it. Like, again, for the casual fans who aren't in the wrestling business, like, I get it, but for me, it just wasn't my thing. Oh, yes! Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
So
it's so good.
Watching on the screen now, was that Dr. Thugonomics John Cena?
Yeah, old school John Cena versus young boy Bork Laser. Yes, the old school. Oh, he stole his finish. I remember that. He used to use two specials to steal their finish. It was huge.
What's where the attitude adjustment used to be called the FU.
Yep. Not very PG of them.
I'll find it for you one day, Braden.
Thank you.
Next up, number 2 on my list is this game right here that I have in front of me that I got for $15 from Cash Converters. You guys were snoozing. WrestleMania 2000 for the Nintendo 64. This was my first wrestling game. So the game that I cut my teeth on, as it were, is a predecessor to No Mercy. Customization was insane. I made all my friends in it. We had a backyard wrestling federation at the time. So I did all that. And the best part for me was that you could glitch Jericho's entrance so he'd come out and turn his back to the audience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a way to do it. I was a massive Jericho market back in the day.
God.
It looks great. What are you talking about? You can't tell me Dwayne Johnson doesn't look like 5 badly parked Volkswagens.
I mean, I thought I was watching the trailer to the new Jumanji film.
Look at the background. Look at the people in the background. Look at the fans.
Oh,
so
the
good.
nostalgia. Oh, my God.
And the best part for me, and probably why it looks like this, is because they had actual audio files of their entrance theme and like really disjointed, dodgy, selected screenshots of their entrance.
Yep.
As we can see on the screen now with
That's
Austin.
it.
That's why they couldn't put a whole heap on there. What? What are you laughing at, Brady?
The walk. The way they've captured his walk is so good.
You should see Vince McMahon's.
Oh,
It's
no.
perfect.
And The Rock's just disappeared, by the way. Oh, no, he's there. There he is.
So good.
Look at those arms. That's the realest looking arms.
So good. This game was actually really hard.
Yeah, you had to win the Royal Rumble because
Yeah.
part of the storyline was you
It
got
is
your title
so
shot.
hard.
Yep. But you got screwed out of it because you
All the
interfered.
time.
Oh, great game. Anyway, number 1, No Mercy.
Yes. Yes. WWF No Mercy.
This was obviously the follow-up to WrestleMania 2000. Came out, I think, a year or two after it. Mm-hmm. Vastly improved graphics. Again, used the same AKI engine that AEW tried to mimic, and I think this is one of Kenny Omega's favorite games.
Yep.
Had surprisingly detailed character creation, and the fun of playing through different storylines in the championship mode made it a must-have for the 64.
100%. It was so much fun, dude.
Now, you mentioned soundtracks before. This soundtrack was amazing.
It was. It really was. It was so cool. I love Taka Michinoku.
And the best thing about this game as well was the fact that the wrestlers were so well balanced, making sure the players would come back and play.
The only one that I found was like a Dark Souls boss was Mick Foley when you're fighting for the hardcore title.
Yep.
It was impossible to beat him. And there was this, because how it used to work was like a tree of different bits that you kind of work your way to as part of the story. And there was this bit after Mick Foley that I could not get past because he would just clap me every single time. It was a lot of fun. And what's cool is that it wasn't multiplayer as far as the actual campaign mode, but if you did the actual tag team, you did 2 created characters in the tag team storyline. You just swapped the controllers in between. I had a lot of fun with this. It was such a good game.
Braden, have you ever played any of these?
I have not. Unfortunately, I never had a 64 or anything. I grew up on the PS2.
Right.
For context, but I love this era of wrestling. So in already just seeing this timeline of when wrestling was, it is triggering some serious nostalgia. It's good.
Don't get me wrong. I grew up in the Attitude Era. That's the wrestling that I watched. Don't go back and watch it now. just let the memories be there.
Yeah.
And then you can forget about the misogyny, racism, and sexism that was rampant throughout those 5 years.
Yep.
I did just watch a really long documentary series, which was like a 20-episode thing about the Monday Night War.
Yep. Dark Side of the Ring?
No, it was called Monday Night War.
Oh, yeah.
The WWE produced one.
Yeah, and it's very, very biased.
Oh, really? You don't say?
No.
They have some interviews with Eric Bischoff, but, mate.
He was on the payroll then. He had to behave.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But it was fun for me because I never knew all the backstory behind the scenes stuff. But yeah, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's fun to think back at.
Yeah, WCW bad, WWE good.
I was totally that stan. I was
Mate,
brainwashed. I was WWE peeled. I
was pure blood WCW.
Well, this is the problem now that I'm primarily AEW and I'm seeing all these guys, and Tony Khan was a massive WCW mark as well. And you look at it all, and you look at how Cody was brought up in the biz, and he was always a WCW type guy, and you think, I think I was wrong.
See, yeah, both promotions had their faults. WWE or WWF at the time's biggest problem back then was Vince. Even back then, he was out of touch. There was so many guys.
No, Vince, I think, covers everything.
Yeah, Vince was Vince. And
that covers everything.
What is wrong with Triple H's face there? He looks like a Klingon.
He just took a steel chair. Real wrong.
Looks like he's taking the world's biggest jumper.
Yeah. Oh my God.
The game, Celebrity Deathmatch. Oh, well, that's a name I haven't heard in a long time. But yeah, there was so much talent that they just ignored, like Tajiri and all the cruiserweights, and they just dropped the ball where WCW let them shine. So, but yeah, I could talk about wrestling forever.
Yeah.
But do you want to have a couple of honorable mentions?
Yeah, go for it.
Now, so obviously there's this bad boy, WCW versus NWO Revenge, which was the game that got me into pro wrestling.
Nice.
Yep, I played this when I was 6 years old. I was actually heavily into martial arts even back then, and my favorite character to play was Eric Bischoff, Sting, and Hayabusa, because Hayabusa, Eric Bischoff and Hayabusa did martial arts stuff, and it was really, really cool.
I think you're the only person in the history of the world to ever say you enjoyed playing Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, I know, right? But I loved martial arts back then, and Sting I loved because The Crow is my favorite movie of all time, and of course, Sting's Crow gimmick, it just kind of clicked with me. But yeah, that was what got me into wrestling, and I happened to find an episode. I'm not sure if you remember this, Ben, but WCW Nitro used to be on Monday nights at about 11 p.m. It was like a poorly cut, severely out of date, hour-long episode of Nitro.
It's like Superstars.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was so bad, but I didn't realize at the time, and I happened to be up late one night when I was a kid, and I saw the end of it, and at the end, I still remember the match. It was Kevin Nash versus David Flair. Kevin Nash steals David Flair's girlfriend, jumps her in a truck, jumps in the car, and driving is Sting. And I'm like, oh, it's Sting.
And then he turns around and goes,
Sting.
"Where to, Stephanie?"
Gross. But yeah, of course, back then he wasn't saying anything because he was his crow gimmick. And then I would try and, my mum would let me stay up every Monday to try and watch WCW because of this game. I barely made it, but this is how cool my mum was. She would stay up late to record it on VHS, so I'd have something to watch. I had all these ancient, poorly edited tapes of back-to-back episodes of Monday Night Nitro I'd watch as a kid, and that's what got me into wrestling. This bad boy right here, WCW versus NWO Revenge. Also, if you haven't played them, SmackDown and SmackDown 2 Know Your Role on PS1. Also fantastic games just for their campaign mode alone because they were multiplayer. Campaign mode. You had factions. Lots of hours. Really cool.
Yeah. And I'll give one little honorable mention for those of my age bracket. No offense.
I'm used to it.
SmackDown versus Raw 2007.
Yes, 2007.
2007 was the bomb. It was so good.
That soundtrack is possibly the best of any wrestling game ever. Breaking Benjamin, Skillet, I still listen to them.
Legitimately though, like it had so many different game modes and options in it.
The GM mode as well.
Oh my god, I loved it. And again, when you grew up with 2006, very very good as well. Like
that was peak.
2006, 2007, those two are like the best of the SmackDown versus Raw, which is hilarious because there's only one game before them and like 4 or 5 after them.
But we've been Hack the Dino. This has been our gaming cast where we sometimes bring you the past, present, and future of video games, news, previews, and discussions, apart from when we have wrestlers on, when we spend most of the time talking about wrestling because wrestling's cool.
It is cool. It's still real to me, damn it.
But this isn't all we do. Zach.
Yes.
Anything you want to plug?
My Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Zak_Sabbath. Or if you look up Zak Sabbath on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I'm also on TikTok. There's me deadlifting 200 kilos for the first time. God, I'm so ridiculously strong.
Yeah, look at that, 200 kilos. Braden, do you have any idea how much 200 kilos is?
That's like 2 me's.
So talk us through deadlifting 200 kilos because that's not something I can even
look.
fathom.
I've been working towards this for years, like trying to build up my deadlift because I like powerlifting. Big fan of Eddie Hall. And for some reason, 200. My first goal was getting into the 1,000 pounds club, which means my 3 big lifts: bench, squat, and deadlift, equal 1,000 pounds. Got to that, and the next goal was deadlifting 200. And what hurt more was trying to contain my excitement in a public gym because I was so amped up, I almost had an aneurysm trying to contain it. But look, it actually felt pretty good. It felt pretty easy at the time, but I was on 4 hours sleep and an absolute deafening amount of pre-workout.
Michael Towns in the chat has said that you could throw him into the sun.
Yeah, I've seen Michael Towns in person. That's pretty true.
Yes. I could at least get him to the moon.
But yeah, follow me on Zak_Sabbath on Instagram and TikTok, which is pretty much the same thing, except Instagram has more pictures.
You can also head on over to RCW,
Yes,
which is where we
please.
both reside. In
That's
fact,
right.
August 19th, we got a little bit of a show coming on.
That's right, we do. I'm not sure if I'm wrestling, but I'll find out on the day. But we actually, if you do want to check something out very soon, if you go to the RC Dub YouTube channel, our latest show at the Big Shed Brewery will be released very soon. It's going to be a great show, guys. Check it out. We got all of the old school RC Dub shows there as well. Lots and lots of content to consume.
And if you want to see me be a lot more evil than I am on here, I know it's possible. You can head on over there as well. Did you see my promo at the piano?
I did. You very clearly were not playing the piano.
What? Lies.
Your fingers weren't even moving.
You know, that's exactly what I wanted to go for.
Like, yes.
I was talking to Boomer about it, and I just said, I kind of want to be playing a piano, but not actually playing it. And Boomer said, why? And I go, because it's such a pompous dickhead thing to do. It's a character building thing. I want people to be able to watch and go, that dickhead isn't even playing the piano. Ooh.
So good.
Ooh. Anyway, Braden, what do you do?
Oh, hi. Yes, I'm here too.
Yay. Thank goodness. Otherwise we'd be in big trouble.
I have a movie podcast with my mates where we chat about, funnily enough, quite a bit of wrestling lately.
Awesome.
So if you like wrestling talk, we do mainly talk about the WWE because that's what they've been following the most and what I've jumped onto with them. But
Hey, it's been good.
I'm sure. Oh yeah. I mean, well, SummerSlam had its ups and downs, but you can head over to our podcast to hear a bit of that. It is Millennial Movie Talk. I'm gonna bring it up very quickly so that people can see what it looks like.
Apart from the podcast listeners, they can't see.
No, they can intuit what it would look like. I hate how YouTube's done this thing lately where they separate videos and live. So when I go to click videos, it doesn't show the most recent episode.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
So
your
super handy.
homepage. Can't you just make a playlist?
There we go. Yeah. So this is what we've got. So recent episodes, obviously, Barbie and Oppenheimer, both very good. Talk to Me from the Rocket
I was going to
Boys.
ask about that because
Yeah.
our mates with the Racket Twins, they're doing so well.
Yep.
Yeah.
It has been super successful.
Just saw today they've been signed on for a sequel
So good.
for Talk to Me. And of course,
Yep.
Street Fighter. Mm-hmm. I had one of their mates, so I was selling a Street Fighter miniseries of comics, and a guy came and picked it up, and it turns out it was one of the Racker Boys
Really?
mates, and he said, yeah, they just wanted me to come out and get anything Street Fighter. And I said, well,
Hit
in
me
my
up.
house, I have a Street Fighter machine, and I'm well versed in Street Fighter because that's why I started doing karate
Yep.
when I was a kid. So if they need any help, feel free to drop me a line.
Yeah, they have you actually seen their funny video on YouTube before YouTube started being mean to everybody on Street Fighter?
Yes.
Hilarious.
Yep. They also there was a ARG called Ash Vlogs, and it was always debated as to whether the Rackers were behind it. It was a really good series.
Yeah.
And I asked this guy, I goes, so, just between you and me, they wrote that, didn't they? And he just went, I don't know, man. Wink. And he goes, I'm not supposed to say anything because they told me off last time I did. So out now to our dozens of listeners. You too know the secret.
It was really, they've done so well for
They
themselves,
have.
man.
They're actually super talented.
They are. But here's the thing. They haven't gone to film school or anything. They just messed around and found out, which is like, it's not it's how you portray it, and you're just working on your craft, hard work paying off. It's really, really cool.
Yeah. And it shows.
It
Talk
does.
to Me. It really, really does.
Did you watch it, Braden?
Yes, I did.
You handled it okay?
It is a pretty spooky one.
Yep.
I'll give it that. It's got some quite horrific moments, but the film itself was well worth it. Like getting through it, the scary bits, because as a film, I honestly really thought it held together really well. That prop of that hand, genius. That thing is iconic and memorable and does so much heavy lifting. And yeah, honestly, they did a really good job. I'm really, really impressed.
Awesome.
But yes, so we've talked about that. I went and my dad and I went and saw The Meg 2. Yep. My dad loved it. It's great fun.
What did you think?
Oh man, bit of fun.
Look, movies
Not-
can be just fun.
Not a good movie.
I often complain when I go to Vicious Video, which is a
Yes.
video specialty video store place in the city with DX, the owner there. I often sit there and go, where are all the B and C grade schlock movies we used to get as kids?
Yes.
All the really crappy sci-fi, all the really crappy fantasy one where the people couldn't act. Where are they now? And he goes, oh, well, they're on Netflix. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Good. Sounds about right.
Good.
Mate, Kroll the Conqueror. We starred Kevin Sorbo.
Ugh, that horrible piece of trash.
Yeah.
Awful person.
Yeah, that's so disappointing as a 90s kid, man.
But Xena turned out all right, so there we go.
Did she what? Spartacus, anybody? Anyway.
Calm down. Jeez.
But yes, so that as well, and I just saw in here in this from seeing that when we reviewed Transformers: Rise of the Beasts, reminds me if you go to Greenlight Comics, there's a Transformers comic coming out.
Oh, really?
In October, from Daniel Warren Johnson, and I'm about to share this on the Greenlight socials, but I just read the first issue as a retailer preview. I really liked it.
Yeah, right.
I'm pretty sold on it, and I'm real keen for more. So you can head over to Greenlight Comics and follow us there, and I will share more.
And you can follow me over at Instagram, Mr. Benjamin, where I put up all my retro hunting finds. I managed to get a box, just the box for $5 of Wrath of the Black Manta, which I was really, really happy about because that is a $100 plus game. The cartridge I had as a kid, and it's good to have it at home. Not too fussed there's a big tear in it because it was $5. So who cares? Yeah. And then Julian from Ghost Games and I went to a garage sale where we picked up a whole bunch of stuff. And then the lady gave me a call and said, I found some more stuff. Do you want to come and have a look at it? First thing she did was pull out this poster, Braden. It was Chrono Trigger.
That's
for the
good.
DS. And I just went, and grabbed that. So I'm going to find a frame for that now. Yeah, made my day. That more Chrono Trigger merch was coming my way. But yeah, head on over to Mr. Benjamin, or I think we're on hackthedino.com. I've got my thing on there. But you can also look at Bad Game Arts, where I bring up and talk about some of the worst video game art from the late 90s and early 2000s. And I had to do it this week. We're looking at some real bad Street Fighter game art. First up there, we've got good old Guile.
Is that who that's meant to be?
What is happening with his legs there? Like, I understand
What is this?
I don't know.
Is that meant to be a fly kick? But he's standing on the ground.
Yeah, so I think that's his supporting leg, and I think it's supposed to be bending forward, but because, perspective isn't a thing, it's just a quad with a shoe tied to it.
Yeah. Wow.
And then we've got the original what's called bad art from Street Fighter 2. This has always freaked me out. Look at Blanka.
What is that nightmare
How
fuel?
can you not look at Blanka?
Like, his teeth are coming out like the alien xenomorph.
God. It is.
And Ryu, I think, has just stepped on a tack or something.
What is this with his bicep? This was drawn by an 8-year-old.
No, he's just that ripped that he has tennis balls in his
It's torn.
in his arms.
I like this face up here.
Zangief. It's because Zangief's the best.
I used to play Zangief as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Ryu was always my main. Ryu or Blanka. And then finally, art from Street Fighter, the original. What's happening with Ken there? And that's Ryu. I don't know what he's doing besides flying through the air. And look at that guy's broken legs who's gone upside down.
Is that meant to be Vega?
No, it's not Vega. It's a ninja. But he was a pain in the butt. I could never beat
But
him in
he's
Street
got the
Fighter 1.
claw of Vega.
Yeah, Street Fighter 1's an interesting game.
Did they spend so much money on the game they couldn't afford an artist, or?
Generally, that's how it goes, yeah. Or they
Right.
get their work experience, kid.
I was gonna
Sorry,
say,
I just noticed the background.
Yeah.
is that Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
Why is Mount Rushmore there?
Yeah, that's the classic presidents, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, some kabuki in a mask, and old man Witherspoon.
What?
Yep, and I'm pretty sure that's a Japanese temple building.
Yep.
Yeah,
Sick.
well, Street Fighter, the World Warriors, they're from all over the world.
But the world is just one place, a city, with everything in it.
It's a montage, it's a motif of all the places where you
Dean
can
Malenko down there in the bottom corner.
punch and punch and do things. But if you like punching and doing things, you can head on over to hackthedino.com and punch the subscribe button and kick the like button and then slap everything else in the balls.
Do it.
Slap those balls.
Absolutely.
Braden,
All the balls.
get those balls out. We're slapping them. Slapping them. Slap, slap, slappy. God, stop the stream. What is wrong with you? Braden, stop the stream. Braden! I'm going to cut this anyway.
You alright, Brandon?